Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm so excited because I get to be part of the Cheek for Cheap DIY challenge hosted by my friend Christi at Christi Creates. Every month she hosts this challenge and I get to be this month's co-host. Alright guys, so for my DIY number one, I am taking this graphite leaf sculpture from Jocelyn, Maine. Beautiful sculpture. I saw it and I instantly was attracted to it, but it's pretty expensive. They have it for $52 on sale, and I thought I can definitely recreate something similar, close to it, but for a lot less. So I grabbed this dowel, this wooden dowel. It's a 5/8 of an inch by, I believe it was 36 inches. And what I'm doing here is that I counted all the little sticks on the sculpture, on the original sculpture, and it had 32 little sticks on each side. So I am marking here 32 marks at 1/2 inch apart so that I know where I need to place those little sticks. Now, the goal here is to obviously recreate. So this challenge is where you try to recreate a high-end home decor item for a lot less. So, of course, I'm trying to make it very inexpensive, and I think I got it. So I marked where I needed to make all my marks, and now I am making my cut with my miter box. This dowel is on the thicker end, but it was very easy to cut anyways. All right, so I'm going to take some painter's tape, and the reason why I'm going to use this painter's tape is because I want to mark a straight line on both sides of the dowel. That way, when I am drilling the little holes where I want to place all the little sticks, I am drilling as straight down as possible, because I have done it before where I don't mark it and then it's going to be all crazy looking. So the tape is just going to keep me aligned straight down, and all the little lines that I marked earlier are just going to, I know they're going to tell me where I need to drill. Now I'm not drilling all the way through, I'm just drilling very little, enough where I can put in the little stick.
Don't need someone to save me, no, and don't come running to blame me from miles away.
Alright, so now that I have all the little tiny holes drilled, I am going to use this piece of scrap paper and I am going to basically draw the outline of what I want my sculpture to look like, which is basically what the original looks like, kind of like a leaf. So I was trying to think in my mind, how am I going to do this, cutting all these little sticks, and I thought the best way to do it is to just create or draw a silhouette of the sculpture, and that way I can use that so that I can make all my cuts. So after I have the leaf silhouette drawn, I am going to now trace the dowel. I'm also going to mark all the little lines every 1/2 inch once again down the drawing so that I know where each little hole is, and that way I'll know. Here in a second you'll know what I'm talking about. I am going to place every stick, so starting with the first one where I mark the first line and then mark where the end of the drawing is. Does that make sense? So I'll do this for the entire all 32 sticks on one end, on one side, and all 32 sticks on the other side. It took a little longer than normal. However, it was really easy. It wasn't hard at all. It was basically putting the sticks, measuring or marking where I needed to cut, and I did that all the way on both sides.
I can tell that something's off, the way you look and how you pause when you talk. I think I said enough. You said your love for me something brand new. You said this is something you would never do. Here we are in your car. Let me see who you are, who you really are. Yeah. Don't need you here.
All right, so that you see there on the left side of the screen, I have all my sticks cut. So now it's time to glue them to the dowel. I'm going to dip all the little sticks, just one end, on wood glue, and then stick them and following. So I'm starting from the bottom up, and I'm just going to follow where, how I have them cut, because I have them lined up as they should be.
To say you're sorry, 'cause if you're gonna leave me, then just do it. Don't take it slow, don't be gentle. No, I just gotta know if you're gonna leave me, then just do it. Let's be honest for a second. Yeah, you're being over your head, babe. 'Cause there is no one other than me that can make you feel the way you feel when I hold you. I think I said enough. You said your love for me something brand new. You said this is something you would never do. Here we are in a car. Let me see who you are.
All right, so now it's time to just create a base for my sculpture. This is a piece of scrap wood that I had in the garage. I'm just marking or making lines across so I can find where the middle is. And then I'm going to use a spade blade to drill a hole. This is a spade blade that matches the size of my dowel. And I'm not going to drill it all the way through, just about halfway down so that I have enough to place the dowel in with some wood glue, but not go all the way through.
Who you really are, yeah. Don't need you here to say you're sorry. 'Cause if you're gonna leave me, then just do it. Don't take it slow, don't be gentle. No, I just gotta know if you're gonna leave me, then just do it. Just do it. Don't need you here to say you're sorry. 'Cause if you're gonna leave me, then just
All right, so I waited a couple of hours until the base was the sculpture itself was fully dry overnight, but the base I wanted to have it dry for about an hour or two. So I took it outside, and now I'm going to spray paint it, give it a really good heavy one coat of Rust-Oleum flat black spray paint. And then once I was done with that, right away, I did not let it dry. I gave it one light coat of the Rust-Oleum hammered silver paint to give it a little bit more of a metallic look that like the original had. All right, guys, so we are just about done with this one. Let me remind you what the original looked like from Joss and Maine. And then here's what mine looks like. I'm so proud of this sculpture. I mean, it took me a little longer than what I had expected, but I'm really proud of it. I think it turned out really cool. And it's just a piece that very unique. And I'm just so happy that I found it, and I'm happy that it with the way it turned out. All right, guys, so DIY number 2, I found these two cute pumpkins at Kirklands. They have them both a set for $65, and I thought I can definitely recreate these perfect for fall. So I'm going to start with some painter sticks. And I didn't need, I'm going to be creating 2 pumpkins as you saw in the original set. So over here, I'm just marking where I want to make some cuts. This taller one here is going to be the center one where it will stick out with the stem. And then I'm going to cut the other ones at 6 inches, and it's going to be 5 on each side. And that way I'll have a total of 11 sticks. And I'm going to do the same thing for both pumpkins. And once again, I'm going to use my miter box. Now you're going to see the miter box slide here and there. I should put something underneath it, but I'm here just showing you how it works. And it just, my surface is a little slippery, but it does have one side of the bottom of the box is longer than the other one, and you can actually kind of clip it to the side of the table, and that's what I did for the rest of the cuts. But just for purposes of showing you how the miter box works, I'm just showing you here. I'm doing it on top of the table or on the center of the table. But if you do not have a miter box, I do have it linked in my Amazon store, which is linked down below in the description box. I highly recommend it if you are often making crafts that have smaller woods like these. Is really good to work with. All right, so now I have all my cuts made for both my pumpkins. So it's time to just cut the angled cuts from the 2 side sticks. So basically here I'm just drawing the direction of the angles or the direction of the cuts that I need, but I'm going to use the angles that are in the miter box to make the cuts. Hey guys, so I want to encourage you to visit Christi's channel, the host of Cheek for Cheap every month. It is linked down in the description box below, as well as a playlist for the challenge. So if you are going to participate in this challenge, go ahead and check out that playlist link and add your video to it. Hey guys, so I want to tell you that these painter sticks are very inexpensive. I get them on Amazon and they come 200 in a huge box and they're only $20. So there's literally 1 cent per each stick. I have them in my Amazon store linked down below. All right, so now I'm just going to sand off a little bit of the splintery ends on the sticks so that it is nice and smooth and not splintery at all. And then it's time to put things together. I'm just going to use hot glue to put them together because these painter sticks, as you know, they're not very thick, they're not very heavy, and hot glue would be sufficient. So the original pumpkins are planked like, and you can see through them just a little bit. So here I'm just going to separate them just a bit so that you can see through them a little bit. I am using my square to kind of keep them straight because I am going to use 2 painter sticks on the back of them to glue them and put them together. And I know that the painter sticks are 12 inches long as my square is, so I'm going to use that as a measurement. And again, I'm just going to use some hot glue, and I'm going to use 2 painter sticks, one towards the top and one towards the bottom, to secure them. All right, guys, so let's start painting. I'm going to paint these pumpkin using Artisa paint. This is their fabric paint, but I used them. I didn't have another orange color tone, so this is the only thing that I had, and it actually worked beautifully. It has such good coverage. I'm going to have the link to this paint down below. Again, they're fabric paints, but I'm using them on wood, and they worked perfectly fine. So if you're interested, Artisa is offering you a 10% discount today on these paints, and actually site-wide, and that is effective until September 30th, 2020. So check it out and use the promo code in the description box down below and take advantage of that 10%. So I'm going to give each of them one coat. One of them is going to be with their orange, and then on the other one it's going to be white.
I've been lying here for too long. I don't know what else to do. I wanna get away from every little thing just to try to make it through. I've been thinking about my options, every detail in my head, but it doesn't really matter, nothing matters, so I cry instead. I've been running circles, trying to catch my breath. I've been trying everything.
All right, guys, so as you can tell, I left the stem portion bare wood, so I'm just going to stain it now using Waverly Antiquing Wax. I'm just going to give it one coat and then wipe off the excess, and I'll do that on both pumpkins.
But I ain't got nothing left. I've been staring at the ceiling, I've been staying up all night. Everything I ever worked for vanished in the blink of an eye. I've been asking every question, 'cause I haven't got a clue. Why's it gotta be me? What the hell am I supposed to do? I've been running.
All right, so these painter sticks are actually thicker ones. They were pieces left over from a previous project, and they're the painter sticks that are like super long, like the 5-gallon one painter sticks. So I had these leftovers from a previous project, and I thought they'd be perfect to have a base for my pumpkins, just like the original pumpkins have. So I'm just going to give them, again, one coat of the Waverly Antiquing Wax, wipe off the excess, and let them dry.
Trying to catch my breath. I've been trying everything I can, but I ain't got nothing left.
Right, so the original pumpkins were a little bit distressed on the edges, so I'm going to use the Waverly Antiquing Wax and my stenciling brush to add some shadowing and distressing on the edges of both pumpkins. That way it adds some dimension, but also we want to keep it as authentic as the original ones as possible.
And I know there's so much more to this life, but it's hard to see it clearly.
All right, so now it's time to add some florals. These are some leaves from the Dollar Tree. They come in a little packet, and they come like a whole bunch in them. They're fabric, and I'm just going to use a few of them on both of the pumpkins, secure them with hot glue, and then I'm also going to add a flower from the Dollar Tree that I clipped off of a flower little bush stem that I got, and then I'll do the same thing on the other one.
Look out, here she comes, the woman that I love. It's too bad she'll never know. Yeah, I can't tell her how I feel, because she has someone who makes her happy. I'm a ghost in these walls, or at least I try to be. 'Cause I hope that I'm not showing how I feel for her, but she won't feel the same for me. I've got this picture in my mind. It's just the two of us, just the two of us. But I know I have to try to let her go, because she won't be mine. I listen when she talks, I watch her when she walks. She's giving me these feelings that I've never felt before.
Alright guys, so the original pumpkins had the words thankful and blessed. Now I have this thankful tin words from Dollar Tree that I thought would be perfect for this one. Now I didn't have one that said blessed, but I did have one that said welcome, and I thought it would be okay to place it on the orange one. So that's what I did, and I'm just securing them with hot glue. And then I will be securing each pumpkin to the base of the one that I created earlier. That way they can stand upright. And I'm going to just secure them with hot glue as well. And I'm going to use a piece of leftover dowel. This is not the same dowel as I used for my previous DIY. This is a thinner one. I had leftover some pieces from my previous project, and I thought I just need something to give it a little bit more stability. So I'm going to hot glue the dowels on the base first, and then add hot glue to the base as well as the dowel, and then I can attach the pumpkins.
But she will never know that I love her so well. She's with somebody else, and I will have to let her go. She will never know, nah, never know, nah. She will never know, nah, never know, nah. She'll never know. It's like she stole my heart without knowing she did. But I guess that it will pass. Yeah, I can't be the only one who got lost inside the blue of those eyes. I've gotta let her go. I know it won't be easy. I wanna hold her close, but I have to try as hard as I can.
Alright guys, so as I touch here the white pumpkin, we are just about done, and I think these turned out so cute, and I think they actually look pretty similar to the original. Let me know in the description box what you think, if you think that I nailed it or if I failed it. Let me know, and also let me know which one's your favorite. So there's what they look like, and I think they look super adorable. Guys, I want to thank you for watching. Again, write me down below in the comments which one is your favorite. And I want to thank Christy for inviting me to co-host this month's Cheek for Cheap challenge. Check out Christy's channel. It is linked down below. Guys, if you're visiting for the first time, I want you to consider subscribing and joining our YouTube family. And if you're returning, once again, I want to say thank you for coming back. And I want to wish you guys a very blessed day.